Hello, welcome to An Abundance of Books. My name is Juliet and today is a haul. Kind of a big one for me. I've been putting off filming, I just haven't been in the mood, but apparently I have been in the mood to buy books, so I keep accumulating them. This is everything that I've bought over the past 3 or 4 months. It's around 30 things. And I'm going to display everything for this video on this shelf. These are my top books of last year, and I think that at this point in the year they should get shuffled back into their proper spots. So we're going to clear this off and then we're going to get going. All of the books I'm hauling are on the floor, so this whole situation is going to get worse before it gets better. Okay, let's start with this first pile, which is all books that I've already read, so I can tell you something about them. First up, Everything I Never Told You by Celeste. I've been raving about this. This was one of my favorite books of the year so far, about a Chinese-American family living in Ohio in the 70s, and their daughter is found dead. And it's a character study of the family that she left behind. It's beautiful writing, super poignant, cried. Cannot recommend this highly enough. Then we have The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrun. This I read for its own video. This is a Bachelor spin-off, not spin-off, rip-off. Charlie is the lead of The Bachelor and he slowly develops feelings for his producer Dev, and I loved it. I tabbed the hell out of it, and I actually just got approved for an arc of Alison Cochran's next book, so I'm living my best life. Next up, Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough. I haven't spoken to you about this yet, I don't think. I just finished this month, last month, doesn't matter. This is about Emma, whose mother went crazy around her 40th birthday, and now the same thing is sort of happening to Emma. She has insomnia, she's like blacking out, and it's sort of figuring out what's happening. Gotta say, I didn't love this one. It is the Sarah Pinborough thing of a domestic thriller with a slightly speculative bit going on, but I just don't think enough was happening in this story to justify it, and I found the ending weak. I understand what it was going for, it just wasn't my taste. Then I picked up a copy of How to Be Perfect by Michael Scheur. I listened to this one on audio and I said I was going to have to pick one up so that I can annotate it. So now I'm going to have to actually read it so that I can annotate it. This is basically Philosophy 101 from the creator of The Good Place and all of the stuff that he learned while researching philosophy stuff in order to make the show. And it's just really well done. It's very much a for dummies book, but it gives you a lot of avenues that like you can go and explore more of if you are so interested. Highly recommend this one. Then we have Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. This I'm not a fan of. I am mad that I purchased this and it will probably get unhauled sooner than later, even if I do love the cover. This is about a group of Chinese American students, I believe they are all American, who set out to do some heists to reclaim stolen Chinese artifacts. But it is much less interested in the heist than in the characters, and I don't think it's even that interested in the characters. This was super disappointing for me. I understand what it's going for, but I just don't think it was very sophisticated either. I wonder if this is a debut. It feels like a lot of the problems that I have with it are problems that are generally present in debuts, at least. And then the final one is I Kiss Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I love this book so much. It's cute little size. These end pages, and then the cover has this. This is the Indigo special edition, so I'm not sure if all of them are the same. But anyway, this is about, not Shara Wheeler, Chloe Green, who is Shara Wheeler's like academic rival in high school, and one day Shara Wheeler disappears the day before she kissed Chloe and 2 other people, so the 3 of them team up to try to figure out what happened to Shara Wheeler. It's a super fun, like old 90s rom-com vibe kind of thing. The scavenger hunt is really fun. I did have some problems with the pacing that I can't really talk about without getting into spoilers, but I really enjoy Casey McQuiston's work in general. There's just always something slightly off for me, but I give this one 4 stars. All right, what pile should we do next? I actually do have one more set we can talk about. I bought all the Heartstoppers. There's a dedicated vlog for 1, 2, and 3, all of which I read back to back for that video. I couldn't find 4 at the time, otherwise I would have read it, but the show only covers 1 and 2, so whatever. I'm not gonna pitch Heartstopper to you, but I am very excited to read this, hopefully sooner than later. I feel like it's so short that like it's not a priority for me because I know I can get through it in a sitting. But I do also kind of want to read it while the books are fresher in my mind, because there are a lot of differences with the show, and basically whenever I watch an adaptation, that overtakes the book in my mind's eye. Just grabbing another random stack so I can stop bending all the time. First up is The Summer of Christmas by Juliet Giglio and Keith Giglio. This is on my July TBR, so hopefully I'll read it sooner than later. It is about a woman who is a screenwriter, and she has written a movie about her life, and they are going back to her small town to film it, and she runs into her ex, who I think like some of the movie is about. And also her ex starts having a thing with the actress who is playing her. And it's Christmas in the summer, so much happening. This just sounds like it's going to be super fun. I picked it up on a whim. I've heard no one talk about it, but I'm hopeful. Next, I purchased the next in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. This is number 3, Barbarian Lover. I love these books. As long as they keep releasing these special editions, I'm gonna keep buying them. Then we have The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I'm a little bit bitter that I had to buy this. I bought it because it's the Literally Dead book club for this month, and the hold at the library is like 100 long. But this one hasn't been getting the best reviews, so I'm worried we're in for another Survive the Night situation, but hopefully not. And I truly know nothing about it. I don't even want to read the back. Then we have a very random purchase. Kill Them All by Pasha Malla. It's truly just this cover. You can't really see it, but there's a horse in here, and it's about a mall. Douglas Adams meets David Lynch in this ingenious, witty fable about one of North America's most surreal inventions, the local mall. I think it's horror, exploring the darker edges of human and other nature. Yeah, so it's a tiny little horror book. I just think this cover is everything I could ever want. It sounds just weird and bizarre, and I'm on a horror kick lately. If you have read this, please, no spoilers, but like tell me your thoughts on it, because I truly know nothing. Then another whim, I bought My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I have never read a Tessa Bailey. Is that right? She's just everywhere. I assumed I would have just sort of stumbled into one at one point. But I think it's just a cute size, super small. This cover is everything. It's about a brother and sister who go on vacation and then find a dead body in their house, something like that. This has been getting really good reviews though, so I'm excited to start with it, and then maybe if this goes well, I'll read other Tessa Bailey. And then I got Rabbits by Terry Miles. This, I am of course inspired by Books and Malla. The Rabbit vlog is coming next month, and I want to participate on my own. This is about rabbits, which is a mysterious alternative reality game. It started in 1959. 10 iterations have appeared and 9 winners have been declared. Their identities are unknown. Like, I wanna stop reading right there. Like, this is hooking me instantly. It's described as a techno thriller. So it sounds like Ready Player One, but a bit darker. And I don't know anything, but I'm going to be reading this in August. Next stack, we have Constance by Matthew Fitzsimmons. Someone recommended this on BookTube, and I immediately bought it. I really should keep track of stuff like that. But I did notice after buying it that it was nominated for the Goodreads Choice last year. It was just like really toward the bottom. This is a sci-fi book about cloning. Okay, I'm trying to not read the back so that I don't get spoiled. If you want to know things about books, don't watch my haul. Just this is what I think is happening in this. This is a woman who got cloned, and then one day the clone wakes up and finds out that her original was murdered and has to like figure out what's going on. Does that not just sound so good? Like, I love a sci-fi concept, and that is a great sci-fi concept for me. Next, I do know who recommended this one, and also I basically immediately bought it. This is Riley Marie recommended Pestilence by Laura Thalassa. This is a romance book about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, starting with Pestilence. And she just said it was one of her favorite romances ever. She sold it a lot better than I'm selling it right now, but maybe after I'll read it, I'll sell it to you better. Then this next book was just like a random TikTok recommendation for me. I am not on BookTok very much, but sometimes they find me, and sometimes they know exactly what I'm looking for. This is The Bloodshed of the Betrayed by A.L. Slade. It's like self-published. I think an angel is sent to Earth to learn human emotions and falls in love. It's something like that. It's fantasy, and fantasy is always kind of a harder sell for me, so hopefully I'm in the mood sooner than later. And then we have The Future Is Yours by Dan Frey. This is another sci-fi concept. It is completely told through emails, it looks like. Time travel emails. So the description is an email, and it says, "Guys, it works. Seriously, you did it. You created a time machine for information. This is so weird. I'm sending this from my present, knowing that I'll already receive it. I did already receive it 1 year in the past." Pretty trippy, right? But then I assume something goes wrong with the time travel, and something goes wrong. Next stack with a receipt in it and a sticker. What are you doing? We have The It Girl by Ruth Ware. This is her brand new release. I'm going to be having a video coming out hopefully sooner than later with a reading vlog for this, where I'm going to rank all of Ruth Ware's books, including this one. Do I think I'm gonna like this? No. Like, preparing for this Ruth Ware video, what is he doing? Preparing for this Ruth Ware video has convinced me that I actually don't like Ruth Ware, so this has a lot riding on it. Next, this was a gift from a friend, a non-bookish friend, but she saw this and thought of me, which I don't know how to feel about. It is called How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. Since she gave this to me, I have been seeing it everywhere. Then we have Sundial by Catriona Ward. I bought this before I read The Last House on Needless Street, and thankfully I love The Last House on Needless Street, so I'm very excited to get into this. This is about Rob, who's a nice normal mom in the suburbs, and then she goes back to her childhood home where some spooky stuff went down and her daughter is being spooky. Which sounds like it's just Insomnia, but the opposite. And this didn't go well, so hopefully this goes better. Another spur of the moment pick, One Night on the Island by Josie Silver. I really like Josie Silver. One Day in December is one of my favorites. Her other book, The Two Lives of Lydia Bird, was good, but like sold wrong, pitched wrong. It was pitched as a romance and it was much more fiction, coming of age, blah blah blah. One Cottage, Two Strangers, the start of a great love story. Like, I don't expect much from this. I don't know if we'll get a speculative thing like we got in Lydia Bird, but I'm down for whatever. I think I was just in a summery mood this day. This just feels very much like I need to be on vacation reading this by the water. This next book is First Time for Everything by Henry Frey. I think it's like a queer coming of age story. Truly, I just bought it because I think this cover is great. Danny gets dumped and then goes to live in a queer commune. Yeah, okay, I'm crushing this. It is pretty long. It's almost 400 pages, which makes me nervous because I just don't know if it can sustain itself for that long. I'm very picky about pacing, if you haven't noticed. So we'll find out. And then we have On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. This is a graphic novel with my hair in it. It was sold to me as Lesbian Boarding School in Space, and I bought it immediately. I also had to order this one for Book Depository because the other cover, easy, is bad and I don't like it. This cover is way better, and that spine is like one of the best spines. I think we only have one pile left. My room is a disaster, so hopefully this is right. And these are books that I found used or at my little free library, so there's a lot less writing on them, I think. First up, 13 by Sneeve Kavanagh. I've just heard about this before and it was in the little free library, so I picked it up. I've heard people like it. The murder trial of the century is here. A ruthless prosecutor, a brilliant defense lawyer, a defendant with a secret, and a serial killer on the jury? It's literally right on the front. But anyway, that makes me really excited for it. Then I feel kind of silly for picking this one up. It's The Silmarillion by J.R.R. Tolkien. This I picked up for my husband because he's like said that he wants to read it because he's very into fantasy and world building and stuff. But look at this. Look at this text. Look at how tiny this is. This says it's 400 pages, which means it probably stops and starts a couple times. Wait, what? I think this is actually only 400 pages. That doesn't make any sense. Well, like 450, but still. I also like this cover of it. I've seen a bunch of copies of The Silmarillion, and this is the one I've liked the most. Will it be read? Probably not, but I'm okay with that. Then I picked up World War Z by Max Brooks. I read Devolution by Max Brooks, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. But this, I'm hoping, is more my speed. This is his more famous work. It was turned into that movie. Who was in it? I want to say it was Brad Pitt in it, but it could have been any white boy. This is an oral history of the zombie war, as it says. Then I picked up Dreamland by Sarah Dessen. This I remember being one of my most favorite books when I was younger. And I remember semi-recently I forced a friend to read it and she thought I was crazy. So I have to prove to myself that I'm not. By reading this, I don't know what it is. I feel like all Sarah Dessen books are kind of the same. Moody girl doesn't get along with her parents, meets bad boy, teenage hijinks ensue. But I remember this one being really dark and her boyfriend being kind of messed up. So we'll find out. What did I do? Why did I buy this? I bought Beastly by Alex Linton. What did I do? Okay, no, okay. This is just me trying to justify stuff to myself. I remember when the Vanessa Hudgens and that guy movie came out of this, hating it so much because in here, it's Beauty and the Beast retelling, duh. He is presented much more like the Beast, like a giant hairy guy. And in the movie, he's just a guy with some face tattoos. And it was a very different vibe. And I've always meant to revisit it and see if this is actually better. I don't have high hopes. Then I picked up Behind Closed Doors by B.I. Paris. This is just a super popular domestic thriller that I've been seeing all over the place. It's an oldie but a goodie apparently, and when it's a couple bucks, I pick it up. And then the last one is The Hollow Ones by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan. This was in the Goodreads Choice Awards the year that it came out, whatever year that was. And I'm just curious. This one I know was free, so it might go away very quickly. But Guillermo del Toro, I trust him. Oh, it's a cop thing. It's a cop thing, so that might be a no from me. But if you have read this, I would love to know what you think of it. There you go. That's all the books that I have purchased over the last 3 or 4 months. It's a lot. I'm going to have to redo my bookshelves, both in order to reshelve my top books of last year and get these where they need to go. It's gonna be a lot, but we're up for the challenge. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you've read any of these books, I would love to get your opinions on them. I need to know where to focus my attention because I think this just basically doubled my TBR. My physical TBR. My full TBR is enormous and will never end. All right, that's it. Thank you so much. Goodbye.